Hello, I'm Jenny Langton, a NAFAS area tutor with BB&O, and today I'm going to show you how to create something just a little bit different using some lovely spring daffodils. And I hope that you'll enjoy having a go at this foam-free design yourself at home. There are a couple of things that you need to consider when creating this design. Firstly, the container. The vase that you'll be looking for is a medium-sized vase, approximately 15 centimetres high. It needs to be V-shaped, so narrower at the base and wider at the top. And the flower needs to be in proportion to the base that's there. A nice proportion is where the flowers are 1.5 times the height of the vase. If you find that the only container you've got means that the flowers sit a bit low and you need to raise them up, then you can simply use some decorative stones or a little bit of grit, fine grit, pour it into the base just to raise the height of the tallest flower up a little bit. Be careful not to raise them too high, or you will find that there's no support for the base of the stems and the design will spiral out like that. It'll be very difficult to achieve. The next thing you need to consider are the flowers. You'll need about 15 to 20 single-headed blooms. A daffodil, for example, or roses are available all year round and a very good choice for this design, or perhaps carnations. The single-headed flower allows a very strong line to be created and very impactful. You're also looking for flowers which have got long, straight, sturdy stems, which is important in this design. If the stalk has got leaves on it, for example roses or carnations, then these need to be removed gently by either pinching them off or by using the secateurs. To condition the flowers, just trim the ends at 45-degree angle and place in water to give them a good drink. The next thing we need to think about is the aluminium wire. It's the 100-gram weight that you'll need. It comes in a wide range of colours and designs, beautiful colours. There's the standard sort, which is smooth and circular, and it comes all coiled up in a pack. You can also get the diamond cut decorative wire and also the flattened aluminium wire, which has nice soft edges so it doesn't damage your flowers, and that's what I've used on this design here. It might be tempting to straighten this out, but please don't. This beautiful circle is going to be used to create the spiral shape that we want. To then create the support structure using the wire, place the vase inside the coil of aluminium wire and carefully feed it up above the vase. Grab the end of the wire and gently twist in and round so that you're making it the circle smaller. This is the shape that you're trying to achieve. When you've got about 1.5 to 2 coils, so 1, 1.5, 2, that's the amount of wire you'll need above the rim of the vase. You can now start to secure the wire to the stem of the vase. This is easily done as it's nice and soft and malleable. Just gently press the wire in a spiral design against the side of the vase all the way down. When you get to the bottom, you need to cut the wire to length using wire cutters and snip it off. Because the end of the wire when cut can be a little sharp, just grab a pair of long nose pliers and twist it round to create a circle so that that sharp end is covered up. And also at the top, create a little C shape, and that's what we will use to secure the central flower. The next thing we need to do is to measure and cut our flowers to the graduated heights that we need to create the spiral shape. There are two ways of doing this. A simple way is to get your tallest flower and place on a table with the end of the stem at the edge of the table. Next, cut your shortest flower to length and place it some distance away on the same table, again lining up the end of the stem with the edge of the table. Then get all of your other flowers and arrange them in a line and get a nice even graduation at the top with the flower heads. And then simply get your secateurs, take it to the edge of the table and snip them off. There you have your pre-cut graduated stems ready to put into your spiral. Alternatively, you can cut them individually. So you take your first tallest flower, hold on to the piece of wire and just extend it upwards. You need to secure this, the top of the wire to the central stem. Using the C shape that you've created, just gently semi-close it around the stem to fix it in place. That makes the wire more rigid and holds that in place. If you're using a daffodil which is pointing in one direction, the direction of the daffodil always needs to point to the outside edge of the container to create the spiral. If they're all facing the same direction, it doesn't work. It looks very strange. And then when you go to place the next one, simply line it up next to the first, trim a little off until you get to the height, the graduated height that you're looking for. Then place carefully inside the spiral wire structure that you've created. Next, we're going to continue to do that with each stem. I've pre-cut these for speed, and then gently place them in position next to each other. And as you can see, we're gradually building up the spiral design. And as the base fills with these stems, so the design becomes stronger and sturdier and less floppy. Almost there, a couple more to go in. There. And then you need to just check that the central flower is standing upright in all directions. So that needs to just move in there a bit. Just give it a gentle movement and the aluminium wire will take up the new position. And the other thing to check is that the angle of this line is the same or very similar to the angle of the line below. And that gives a really pleasing spiral effect. Now, using these daffodils in this particular vase, they're nice and sturdy and stiff. However, if you've got a larger vase or heavy-headed flowers, such as heavier headed roses, for instance, you might find that the arrangement starts to misbehave and perhaps it's leaning in one direction or the other, depending on where the weight is distributed. If that's the case, do not worry. You just need to add a bit of extra support to the aluminium wire. You can do this by getting a couple of green garden sticks or corners or something similar. I've taken the flowers out of this one just for ease, but you could just take a couple of flowers out of your spiral design while you attach these and then place the flowers back in. Put the sticks, supporting sticks, on opposite sides inside the wire, aluminium wire, in the design, and then using some real wire in a complementary colour, snip a little off and attach these two at the chosen points, and that will add rigidity to the structure and hold your flowers nicely in place. So I hope you'll agree that it's created a lovely spiral effect with lots of rhythm and movement throughout the design. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and feel inspired to have a go yourself at home. Thanks very much for joining me.